Everybody hands in? Is that a good podcast?
Yeah. We got Colby's burp in there.
Okay, welcome to Meet Your Monsters. If you think swimming in Lake Victoria is an excellent weight loss strategy, then this is the podcast for you. My name is Abram Macon. These are my friends.
Kathleen.
Matt.
Colby.
Sarah.
Derek.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing well.
I know that my voice probably is more whiny and shitty than it usually is, being that I have a cold.
People are turning out right now.
Yeah.
Can't stand this fucking guy.
Like this fucking guy again. For you at home, Meet Your Monsters is a podcast in which I show my friends horror movies that I love, and we find out if they love them too or if they just think my taste in movie sucks. This week's movie is the 2010 Piranha 3D, written by Pete Goldfinger, Josh Starberg, and directed by Alexandra Aja.
Is that the same guy that did The Hills Have Eyes?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he does fine work. The movie stars Gianna Michaels, Elizabeth Shue.
Which one was she?
She was the parasailer girl with the giant boobs.
Oh.
Definitely in my top 5 favorite porn star.
She does seem really nice.
You have way too many favorite porn stars.
You guys have weird top fives.
Well, I have a top 50, but she's in my top 5.
Oh, okay.
They're all written down in the bathroom. He pointed to his head. And then his boner.
My hero boner. The movie stars Elizabeth Shue, Stephen R. McQueen, Ving Rhames, Adam Scott, Jerry O'Connell.
Ving Rhames?
Ving Rhames, whatever. Rhymes, whatever you say.
It's like a
That was a
rapper.
rapper name. Bang Rhymes.
I got a cold. Leave me alone. Jerry O'Connell's in there. Actually, I really liked him in this movie.
Yeah, it's awesome.
No, nothing too. This is a movie from not too long ago. Kathleen and I saw this in 3D at the theater, and 3D is for horror movies, if you ask me. There's fish and cocks and blood flying all over this movie. It was fantastic. Big boobs everywhere.
Horror and animation is really all they should do for 3D, and that is it.
Yeah,
Because in addition to Avatar sucking, the 3D also sucked in Avatar.
yeah. What did you guys
Can
think?
of worms,
Avatar.
Chloe.
Wait, which one?
What?
Which Avatar?
The only one?
Not the last Airbender, but
Na'vi.
the James Cameron.
I heard that was god awful.
Yeah,
too.
it's so bad.
I didn't see the cartoon, so I liked the movie.
No, hey,
The
stop.
cartoon was so good.
Absolutely.
We just lost everybody.
Yeah, Matt's taking his computer home
Yeah,
now.
that's it.
I'm not saying.
I warned you before, hey.
I'm not saying that it probably wasn't better, but I didn't hate the movie. Okay, so
I was like, the girl from Bates Motel.
which one?
Riley, what's the girl?
We've already
Dead
spoken way
air.
too much about it. Avatar.
Okay. Back to Piranha. What did you guys think of this movie?
Awesome.
It's awesome.
I'd say this was the crown fucking jewel of Nature Monsters.
The only one who hadn't seen this is you. What did you think?
I thought it was really fun. I liked it.
Yay!
Whoa! That's how you know this movie is fucking great.
Yeah.
Matt liked it. This and Oculus, that's
I
it.
was so worried.
Yeah, it was a kick-ass movie. It really has everything that you want in a horror movie. At least everything that I want in a horror movie. It didn't have to be, it was very simple. Fish trying to kill you, don't get killed by the fish.
Yeah.
That was all there is to it.
You know what I liked about it is that the Elizabeth Shue's kid's dad was nowhere to be seen. We don't know why. And good, because I don't care. I
don't really care.
That's true. They did not make that a.
Yeah,
a
I don't give a fuck
sympathetic
about
point
any of these people's backgrounds. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
She was always strong.
She wasn't like
she was
killed
never
by
sexualized.
a fish a long time ago. Now
She
she's
wasn't.
got
She was
flashbacks.
wet twice, and they did not do any sort of.
And
weird,
she is still hot to this day.
She's beautiful.
From Karate Kid to Piranha 3D, she has been hot all the way through.
Have you guys ever seen Hamlet 2?
Is it good?
Yeah, she's in that as herself, but she decided she's a nurse now because she's like, well, I don't want to act anymore. I'm gonna be a nurse. It's really funny.
Yeah, because it was a crazy-ass movie.
It was so weird. Yeah.
She was also in Leaving Las Vegas with Nicolas Cage, where she was topless. If anybody's interested.
She was topless in that movie?
She's topless in that movie.
Oh. I'm gonna watch it
But
just
then
for that.
the movie is just like
you will be absolutely unable to get a boner. The movie,
Yeah.
the rest
I've
of the
heard
movie
that
is so
same thing
fucking
about the
soul-crushing.
wrestler. That like Marissa Tomei is topless in the wrestler, but you don't really want to see the rest of the wrestler.
so don't watch the movie. Just look for the stills
Yeah, just
online
Google.
because
It'll be the saddest boner you've ever had.
yeah, a boner of despair.
Oh no.
Just a weepy banana. Should we try and...
Pull it together, people.
Sorry.
Follow us through the darkness of our wasted and festering memories as we struggle to recall the movie we just watched with this week's Sinister synopsis. Okay, so this movie starts off with our most awesome of friends, Richard Dreyfuss, fishing
Who I hear
in
is
a
a
boat.
pervy dick in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
He seems like he'd be...
I
You
can
think, yeah.
I can
I've heard the
relate to
rumors.
that. Richard Dreyfuss.
I also hear rumors that Colby's a pervy dick.
He fought at Jaws. If anybody is in Jaws, you're
But he
you're allowed
lost.
to do
He
what you
fought
want.
Jaws and lost. If it weren't for
What are you talking about?
Roy
He-
Scheider.
No,
He lived.
He lived.
I know, but he didn't beat Jaws. If it weren't for Roy Scheider,
He was
that'd been all she
there in
wrote
the
for
end.
Richard
He
Dreyfuss
Dreyfuss.
rode
Shark was
on his
not.
coattails, so I guess
Mm.
I would say I beat him.
Hero.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's fishing in a boat. There is an earthquake, and a shitload of prehistoric piranhas come from an underground lake that has just been released into what is the spring break hotspot of Lake Victoria, Arizona.
Has Derek pointed out because he littered, right? Because he
Yep.
threw his beer bottle in and it...
That was
That's
actually me
right.
that pointed that out.
Was it?
Yeah.
Same
I
difference.
can't tell the difference.
Which one is...
Okay, so Elizabeth Shue plays the local sheriff, and in order to assist some local scientists who are coming to investigate the earthquake, she takes them out into this underwater cavern where they find that there are in fact millions and millions, well, hundreds of thousands probably, shitload of piranhas released into the lake. She tries to go and warn the local people, and of course they ignore her because they don't want her to close the lake. At the same time, her son... Colby, you look like you want to say something.
I was thinking about that scene when they were going down to look. They said, like, I have dibs on whatever. And then she says, I have dibs on appliances. And then I said, I have dibs on missing college girls. Was he talking about fucking the dead bodies?
Yeah.
That's like gross when he said that.
Yes,
That is
That
necrophilia.
might be.
I'm glad he died.
Yeah. Anyway, her son, Jake, is recruited by Jerry O'Connell. I forget his character's name.
Derek Jones.
Derek Jones. Yeah, he was essentially that guy from Girls Gone
What's
Wild.
his name?
Joe France.
Joe France. I was going to say Joe Dante. Wait, no.
Yeah.
Who
And
served time in prison?
Yeah, because he's
Yeah.
a rapist. I don't know if he's a rapist, but he's a...
I think he took pictures of underage girls.
Allegedly.
And
don't
he
Allegedly,
held
he
a
went
bunch
to
of
prison.
girls
I-
behind, against their will or something. Yeah, that was part of it. He's a piece of shit.
Okay, so the lovely Jerry O'Connell portraying the piece of shit that is Joe Francis. And
How did he
he's
go from being the chubby kid in Stand By Me to being like the skinniest guy in this movie?
Puberty.
lost some weight.
He lost a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah,
weird.
he was almost kind of...
You don't
Like
see
my
that.
waist the same.
He was doing lots of coke in the movie.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Okay, so he recruits young Jake, who is played by Steve McQueen the younger, and is essentially brought onto this yacht where they're filming what is Wild Wild Girls.
Wow.
And he's brought on as a location scout because he lives there. He knows the area. He's going to take them to all the beautiful places so they can film their sweet porno. And he is supposed to be at home babysitting his younger brother and sister. He pays them some money to stay out of trouble and then takes off so he can watch these girls get wild.
Wow.
It all kind of falls apart because, of course, the kids don't stay out of trouble. They get stranded on a little island, and he has to go pick them up with his porno cast after they've filmed some crazy stuff. And all hell is breaking loose. The ship gets stuck on some rocks, The piranhas are everywhere. People are getting eaten. You know it's your movie's in trouble when Eli Roth shows up because he's never been in a movie that doesn't have like.
You
huge
forgot
body
to
count.
mention that Christopher Lloyd is also in this movie.
Did I forget, or was I saving it for the end?
Oh my God.
Try and bluff your way out of this.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's got Christopher Lloyd. It had a great cast. It had a lot of really
It did.
cool people. Christopher Lloyd he's always
He
good.
was at his
Doesn't he
lowliest.
sound like he should be fat? Like he sounds like he should be like an old fat dude, but he's not.
I don't think he sounds like he should be.
I was listening to the Nerdist and he was on there and I was like, he sounds like he's like 400 pounds. I think it's because he's like breathes like this. He's like,
Yeah, he has a very breathy
yeah.
voice.
Okay, so there's I don't know what you would call it. I was never, even when I was in Florida, I never really did the whole spring break thing. But there's a large party going on in the middle of this lake.
It's
A wet T-shirt contest and the whole
There
spring
was
break
trampolines.
shebang. Yeah.
Just spring breaking. You know?
Yeah, the spring breaking, and the piranhas are just having a fucking
Holy
Massacre.
orgy of a buffet over there.
It's
And at the same time, young Jake is stuck in the boat with the piranhas. Those ships sinking. Help me out here.
So they hit
What's wrong, Abe?
the boat gets caught. Jerry O'Connell's dickhead character tries to drive it out of there all fast, so they smash into the bottom. And that breaks the glass bottom boat. You've totally left out the chick swimming naked.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No,
But
we're
the
gonna
glass
There was
bottom
a
boat.
beautiful underwater scene.
Yeah,
What?
it
We're
was
gonna get
majestic.
It was
It's
artistic.
We'll get
awesome.
there.
Yeah.
We'll go over the synopsis. We'll get to all that.
I have been up since like 2 a.m. So please.
Jesus, why?
I couldn't sleep.
So
So the girl gets stuck the Kelly girl gets stuck in the bottom of the boat. They have to get her out. Jake swims under there and gets her out. They get the kids into the other boat. And then
They're like,
gets
what's
her
this
out.
movie about?
when did they explode all the piranhas?
Yeah, it blows up the boat to kill all the piranhas.
With only 2 propane
Started
tanks.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some big-titted bimbos and some cool fish eating folks.
That's pretty, I mean, cool deaths.
Thank you.
And then,
Yeah, at the same time, that's when all the people by the shore getting eaten at the lake party.
It's just a
Bunch of people get eaten, and then they save the kids, and
Yeah. Ropes.
then to find out that the fish that were getting them were just the babies. Christopher Lloyd calls me, yeah. Are you doing Shredder?
Oh my god, we should
babies!
Oh, we should super cut that. TM.
And yeah, they find out that the prawns are just the babies, and Adam Scott
Oh.
Novak, he says, well, what are the big ones then? And the big giant one jumps out, eats them.
Which was
Yeah.
a great ending.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Abe's high as hell on cough
Yeah.
syrup right now.
I'm just really tired.
What does Little Wayne do?
but you guys did
Robo tripping or whatever?
the scissor stuff.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
you're
that's
doing.
where you
That's what
just
you're on right
drink a
now. Let me
bunch
see
of
your
cough
pupils.
syrup.
No, I've only taken Sudafed. I don't think there's anything in there. I'm just.
You don't
They make
have
meth
was
with
turned into
Sudafed.
meth. Yeah.
Oh, haven't the energy, Captain. So yes, this was a great movie. I didn't do it justice. I'm sorry.
It's all
You
just
did
an
much better,
excuse.
thank you.
Yeah, to see piranhas eating half-naked people. You know?
Yeah. There was a lot
Oh,
of
half naked. What?
And
All
fully
naked.
yeah.
It's varying degrees of nakedness.
Yeah.
It was a kick-ass movie.
Seriously, guys, this movie was so good.
It's just, yeah.
I like the
I'm
little,
sorry, I'm so tired. I'm not doing it any justice here. But
I
it
like
really
the
was
little
good.
parts where there's like the kind of the Jaws homage, like at the beginning when he's
He was singing the song.
and then
They
we
did.
can't close the lake. We can't close the lake on
Yeah.
whatever spring break.
And then they
It's
did
like,
the push pull on the lady.
You know,
that's a great.
I found a factual error in this movie. They said the guy comes over and there's like, we got invited over there by the Arizona State cheerleaders with blue and white pom poms. The Arizona State colors are yellow and maroon.
Maybe they weren't there.
Maybe they're dummies and they didn't understand music's like a community
Maybe it
college.
was some kind of like they wouldn't let them use the
Arizona
official-
State. Penitentiary.
Ooh, yeah.
They're
I
not
got let
allowed.
off for spring break.
For each movie, Kathleen digs through all the dirt and slime of the filthy internet to bring us this week's terrifying trivia.
All right. The whole movie was shot in 42 days. The massacre scene, though, took 9 of those.
That was a bad
That was
one.
pretty
Yeah.
intense.
I'm glad they took their time with it.
Yeah.
Crew estimated that 75,000 gallons of fake blood were used every day.
Every
Holy
day.
shit,
Every
that's
day.
amazing.
Mhm.
Didn't Dead Alive used to have the record for most fake blood used?
I think so for the lawnmower scene.
Yeah, but I guess I got beat. By Piranha 3D.
Kelly Brook and Riley Steele spent 2 weeks learning their synchronized underwater dance.
You can tell.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it's a shame because I don't think anyone was focusing on the skill.
It was so beautiful.
And then finally, Gianna Michaels was the last-minute replacement of Natasha Nice, who couldn't do the movie
Abe's
because...
6th favorite porn star.
She's up there. She's up on the list. Yeah.
Well, she was arrested while working on a hardcore film prior to her scene. So
What was she doing?
I don't know, it doesn't say, but I was
It
like,
was a setup.
a sexy set.
It's the best kind.
No, Natasha's good, but I'm glad they switched her out with Gianna.
Oh,
'cause
Natasha Nice. What's her name, huh?
She's very nice. She's very giving, this girl.
Now, who told me that? Was it you that said the porn star looked like a normal girl? I don't think she did.
The one in
No,
the red
when you
bikini?
see her, like,
Or
she's
the
got
blonde?
huge boobs, but,
But they're
like,
natural?
Yeah.
normal face, you know?
All right, not all collagen and
She's a
Like,
lovely
you could
lady.
see her and just be like, that's a girl with big boobs, not like,
Okay.
that's
a porn star.
But let me tell you, she is a fucking wizard in the sack. Not that, from the movie. I'm telling you.
It's from another movie.
It's like, yeah, she is. She has elevated pornography. Her work is masterful. I'm telling
I'm
you.
gonna have to see it to believe it.
Yeah, just the energy.
Does she have any? Man,
She throws herself into
if your HOA knew about this shit,
Maybe I'll keep that.
About watching porno? What's wrong with that?
how in depth you get into porn.
They wouldn't care.
they'd probably just charge us a fee. They do for everything
Yeah,
else.
send me a
Recreation fee.
being a weirdo fee.
Well, I guess the fact that I live 2 feet from an elementary school is bullshit. But it's not like I'm watching porn outside.
That's true.
You're inside taking notes. You're like, God damn, Gianna, that was a fantastic move.
I'm telling you, like, you can tell when the girls aren't into it. There is never a scene where she is not into it. Like, there's never a scene where she's, like, just phoning it in. She's a hard
She
worker.
doesn't half-ass it.
She loves her job.
That's good.
She loves her work.
Hey, if you do what you love.
Doesn't feel like work.
There are some times where I'm going, like, probably not my favorite scene here when, something's going on. But I'm telling you.
Something's going on? Like, what's
I
going
don't
on?
think I can remember any of the porn scenes I've ever watched in detail. Like, I can tell you, I think there was a bed.
Then you're not watching good porno because there is some really good stuff out there.
Get to see it.
And in fact, okay, so I have this what's called Video Box, and it's just like the Netflix of porno. Fantastic.
If they ever want to be our
Fantastic
sponsor, give us a call.
Yeah.
But they have
gonna
this
get a
thing called
plug
flow
right
mode,
now.
where what it is, it sets you up like a perverted Batman, right? Where it just shows like thousands of like porno, and you can just pick the scenes. It's like you go like, there's something, there's something, there's something. Yeah,
Not the porn part, the technology I mean,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
advancements.
yeah. So you'll just put it up there, and you
Pornography is amoral, and I will have none of it.
So if a job searched my name, would this pop up?
What have you done?
go I think I'm the only one that uses my last name, like a sucker.
Sarah Johnson here.
Yeah, I'm just saying she does good work.
What were we talking about?
Piranha 3D.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She elevates the show.
All right.
Moving on. What's our next segment?
Are you done with the trivia? That was it? You're not going to talk about young Steve McQueen or?
I don't care about young Steve McQueen.
All right.
Wait, is that really his
Care
name?
about old Steve?
Yeah, he's like grandson of Steve
Ooh,
McQueen.
what happened to his
Is
face?
that Cool Hand Luke?
He does not look like him.
I think so.
And his
I could be
haircut was
wrong.
bad.
It might have been.
He did have a bad haircut. It almost looked like a
Steve
wig.
McQueen was Bullet.
Yeah, it
Okay.
did look like a wig.
It is time once again to meet your monster.
All right, this week is what John Lannis's book "Monsters in the Movies."
Paul
The
Newman.
category is.
Sorry.
He was hot too.
I'd do him.
Nature's Revenge. So nature gone amok. Don't mess with nature. Stay out of the water.
They treated
Just-
that lake poorly.
They did,
throwing their
and
beer
I mean
bottles
they were
everywhere.
technically prehistoric piranhas who, when the earthquake happened, it opened a underwater cave or not cave,
Yeah,
lake.
cave. It was a subterranean
Yeah,
lake. I think they
and
call it.
Christopher Lloyd was it Dr. Brown, whatever. He
Brown.
said that they had lived so long because they just cannibalized each other. So I don't know if that's realistic.
That reminds me of when I
Yeah.
went to go see The Fault in Our Stars at the movie theater, and there's like all 13-year-old girls.
Oh my God!
And
This week's Fault in
when
Our
they
Stars.
when they left, I shit you not, there was just like popcorn and like boxes and cups everywhere, and I was like, man, I wish some little
Teenage
piranhas
girls
would
are
come out and eat these little
horrible.
shits, like fucking just littering this movie theater like they don't have a mother.
Though
They probably couldn't see
they don't
because
have
of the
a
tears.
piranhas can be cannibalistic,
Yeah.
but a lot
real?
of times
Really, if
they
you put any animal in that
they'll eat.
situation.
Some of them can be vegetarians and eat mostly seeds.
Huh.
So that's
Really?
interesting.
We used to, my roommates had
You
some
would be a
piranhas.
seed eater.
They would feed them hot dogs. It was cool to watch.
Yeah.
Do you think the vegetarian piranhas are super douchey about it?
Yeah.
Like, I choose not to.
They're all
Meat
skinny.
is
Have
murder,
fun
you
with your heart
guys.
disease.
You should really try some of these seeds, guys. It's so much better for you.
You're putting poison into your system. Do you know that?
Do you know how much mercury fish contains? Wait, no, how much? Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Here on Meet Your Monsters, we like to examine all forms of depravity, and so now, for the mathematically perverted, the Colby Count.
You should describe to remind people what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that we gotta point out in this movie, like it was always, we count boobs individually, and when they cut away and cut back, and there's still a set of boobs there, and it's the same set of boobs as they cut away, that's 4 boobs. So,
He counts the scenes
yeah,
the boobs are in.
every
do
time
you-
they cut away and cut back, boobs.
Yeah.
Technically, they use crossfades, so they didn't cut away and cut back.
Oh, snap.
So
They
Feel
faded
my
in
hair.
and faded out.
Mhm.
Still count.
Anytime there's a scene change and there's breasts, I count those breasts again.
Okay.
There were 40 boobs in this movie.
Only
40
Yes.
boobs, 5 vagina shots, and 46 bodies that we could count.
Which was
We
difficult.
worked on estimating a couple scenes.
This was, like I said, the crown jewel of our podcast.
You're forgetting the crown jewel of the Colby Count, though.
Yeah, that too.
One wiener.
Oh yeah, there's dick violence.
Which Colby
The
loves.
Piranha
to
ate
rub.
that
Loves
penis.
the big ones.
They actually fought over it.
But then they go, ew,
And then he
gross.
then he-
spit it out.
But he vomited it back up.
Are they implying that it was a bad penis?
Yeah.
Was
I
it a
would
dirty
think
penis?
so. I bet it was nasty.
It had to be filthy. That guy was.
Filled
That guy
with
was.
herpes and
Yeah.
tequila. Ooh. Yeah.
It's a tequila.
I'm sure there's just some very sad animator like, animating this penis frame by frame.
That it looked like a weepy banana when it came out.
You think like he had a dick for reference? He's like, the light's hitting
It's
that.
got like a mirror.
I don't know. I feel like if I were the animator that had that scene on my demo reel, I would be the proudest.
I
Yeah.
think I'd just be giggling the whole time. They're like, what are you laughing about? I was like, just fucking dick.
I made
It
a.
reminds me of Grand Theft Auto 5. There's a like cut scene where he shows the other dude his dick, and like it shows him like he's bending down to get his pants, and like his nutsack's like jumping out. Like somebody spent fucking hours animating that nutsack.
I did this little
I
short.
never noticed his nutsack was hanging
Yeah.
out. That's a good game.
In which part does that happen?
You gotta get pretty
Because
good
he's
at
like
Wade,
talking.
right?
He's talking to like the hillbilly cousin or whatever
No,
about
it's-
like that has a
It's a
small penis.
hillbilly's, yeah, the cousin Wade, and
Yeah,
you
the-
gotta finish all your missions and the sticks, and then you go back into the city. So it's like halfway through the
Yeah,
game.
yeah, and he's like asking him why he stays with the girl, and he tells him it's because he's got a small penis, and he's like, well, we all got penises or something like that, and shows him his penis, and then he's bending over to pull his pants back up, and it's like that sack's like drooping out between his like thighs. It's just like, my God, somebody like spent so much time and effort like
working on
making
the physics of the CIA.
How would it hang?
Like I said, I did just giggle the whole time.
right.
I did this cartoon when I was in school called Abducting Humans for Fun and Profit. And it was about little alien abductions. It's this shitty little cartoon I did. And there's a part where this alien was anal probing this guy. And all I did was I just took this little scene of an alien and I just pushed it in and out of this other scene of this guy tied to a table. And I could not quit laughing. The whole class, I was just back in the corner laughing my ass off. And everyone kept staring at me like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy? It was so funny.
When they got to them, and it was all like sad shit of like them just like smoking cigarettes
Yeah.
and crying.
I asked my teacher because they were saying how all the other teachers said it was too vulgar or whatever. I'm like, but were they laughing? He said, yes, they were laughing. And I went, ha! That shit was funny. Okay. And now we honor the artists and artistry that literally put the horror in horror movies with what we lovingly call special effects.
Well, Neville Page deserves most of the credit for this movie. Did the creature designs. He's also does the conceptual designs for tons of other movies. He worked
Chronicles
on
of Narnia.
Star Trek, Avatar, Prometheus, Watchmen, Tron Legacy. He also was responsible for that god-awful monster from Cloverfield. I was not a fan.
Didn't like
That was
that
such a letdown.
We only showed it for like 2 seconds, so don't worry.
Just close your eyes.
But was
J.J.
it?
Abrams sure turned that ship around, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because like, he went from hating them for fucking up Lost, and then Cloverfield nobody liked, and then he did
didn't
Star
fuck up
Trek, and
Lost.
everybody's
I
like,
liked
he's the
Cloverfield.
best.
I think he can never live up to the hype of his own movies, though. So
Star Trek was good.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just going off somebody else's
I
style
don't
of
care.
creation.
Still,
It was good though.
He turned that ship around, is what I'm saying, though.
And now he's doing Star Wars, so
Star
hopefully
Wars,
that shit'll be good too.
And this movie was shot in 2D, but was later converted to 3D, and it is one of the best, well-received 3D post-conversions made to this day.
Awesome.
And it was KMB effects.
Mm-hmm.
Colby's raising the roof.
Yeah.
I'll do it close to the microphone.
You leave that roof alone. That's the perfect height
There.
right now. That's it.
Okay. The films we discuss on this podcast are horrifying, but sometimes real life is even more fucked up. Brace yourself for the nefarious news.
Alright, piranhas became mostly popular to America through... Sorry, my page is loading right now. Teddy Roosevelt took a trip to South America and saw piranhas in action, and just... They were crazy.
Shit his pants.
Shit his pants, you know.
Nah, Teddy
Try
Roosevelt
to-
never shit his pants.
Try to
Shit his
shoot a
pants.
couple of them like
Here's a
Adam
fun
Scott.
fact about Teddy Roosevelt. He was the first American judo brown belt.
What?
Mm-hmm. And he was a boxer and a
You should-
wrestler.
We should have just made a new kind of martial art, like Ted
gonna-
Fu or something.
I'm gonna get a collar so I shock everyone when they interrupt me.
No, she was getting ready. I'm trying to fill in the dead space here.
No, she was doing it.
So, I'll just read a couple things from his bestseller, Through the Brazilian Wilderness. They are the most ferocious fish, even the most formidable fish. Formidable?
Yeah.
Fish. The sharks or the barracudas usually attack things smaller than themselves, but the piranhas habitually attack things that are larger than themselves. So what happened is, the villagers, would that be offensive to say? The natives
Okay.
put a
The people that already lived there.
yes.
The indigenous
the
people.
indigenous
Aboriginal.
people. They put a cow into a river with piranhas, and it got devoured in no time. So it freaked them out. What really happened was they had caught a bunch of piranhas in a net, put them in a tank with no food for a little bit, knowing that Roosevelt was going to come, and they wanted to put on a big show for him. They tossed a dead cow into the river, And then they released all the fish, and of course they just went crazy and devoured the cow really quick. So a lot of the bad image of piranhas come from this story. And
I just wish I could have sat in for that brainstorming meeting. Like, what can we do to impress him?
I
He's
know.
Theodore goddamn Roosevelt.
This guy is the first American brown belt in judo. What can we
What do
possibly
we
do?
do?
See, full circle. Goddamn it.
But Colby
You brought it home.
had said before
Call back.
they normally they could eat live, humans and capybaras. They're only a part of their diet if the prey's already dead or dying. They don't really attack live. I mean, I wouldn't be in a river with them probably, but they only mostly attack when they're already dying, dead.
I also heard they go. This might just be an urban legend, but I heard they go for the junk first, which in a movie is funny. In real life, that is fucked up.
I don't know
fucked up.
if that's true.
Probably the easiest part
Well,
to
if they
get.
were, like, say if
soft,
people like were
mushy.
swimming naked, that might be one of them's eye view. I don't know, but
I don't know. Like,
Well, I heard
like
that
how would they differentiate?
they
between,
said
like,
that they
fingers
call
and
them, like,
penises?
the castration fish like that because
You
they
just
like
know.
bite the balls off of donkeys as they were crossing the river.
But think about it, like, okay, you
up,
get
man.
bit in
Slow-hanging fruit.
the legs, you'd be like, oh, you got bit, but you're gonna bite the
Yeah, which
balls.
one's
you're
more
gonna,
memorable?
right? Who's gonna remember that?
It's probably
What
easier
else?
to bite off of balls than take a piece out of the person, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. They're the only ones that like the only body part that dangles.
Yeah.
Nothing else really dangles off your body.
They'll only attack you if you mess with them or their eggs, so they probably won't attack you. They're attracted to noise, splashing, and blood, which all
You touched on
Oh, no.
that.
Spring break is a prime target.
yeah, they're great grilled and in soup. So those are my piranha facts.
I need some piranha
It's
soup.
like,
Don't snap your
I'd eat some.
Can
Also,
Sorry, go ahead.
river dolphins eat them. I don't know what river dolphins are.
Dolphins
Just
in a
made
river.
them up.
They're like sea dolphins, but in a river.
Hours of effort and creativity go into making a movie, and there's always some asshole just waiting to shit on it. And so, on behalf of the underappreciated horror filmmakers, we are here to take revenge with the critical critique.
My God, they've all gone.
Okay, so this critic is Felix Vasquez. So I'll just read the first paragraph of this here. Alexandre Ajas, is it Aja? Latest remake feels so utterly lazy and muddled and idiotic that it seems like the studio just threw a few million dollars his way and asked him to just throw as much blood and guts to the screen as humanly possible. And I imagine it was the easiest payday this man ever saw. From minute one, Aja's film wants to be taken on so many levels. It wants to be a political commentary, a schlock cult film, and a satire of schlock films. It doesn't take itself seriously, but it depicts violence so realistically.
I don't think I picked up on the
What the
political.
political?
That was my first.
Commentary.
That was the first part I was going to bring up. Like, how is this?
Over my
How is
head.
it
environmental
political?
pollution.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not really politics.
beer
Don't
bottle.
throw your fucking
It
bottles in the
is
lake.
too. They have racist
Well,
Yeah.
they showed the bottom of the lake, and it was all covered in like beach
You
chairs
see
and all
whale
sorts of
wars or
garbage.
whatever?
environmental racism.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess
What's
that.
environmental
I would-
racism?
I did a paper about environmental.
What is it?
Classism.
Yeah, and what it was that like the poor people are always forced into areas where there's environmental problems, like living near the refinery is the south side of town.
Oh, I used to live
in my
by
work.
there.
I used to live.
Oh wait. Hey, that means you're poor.
I told you guys in my story about how my brothers made that boat for me to float in the open
Your
cesspool
brothers
by
are
where we
dicks.
lived, and then that shit sunk because their craftsmanship was shoddy.
What?
If there were piranhas in that,
Well, there were
you would've been
turds.
dead.
That's just as scary.
It's a slower moving boat.
I was like this. No.
Alright, so then another part in here. At times, the violence is so realistically rendered it's almost impossible to laugh at. And on the flip side, the movie begs you to giggle at violence that is much too disturbing to endure.
I gotta
It's
say,
just dumb because
I gotta say that I agree with him about the easiest payday because the guy was probably having a shitload of fun while he was making this movie, and he's like, I get paid too. This is awesome. But when it says
anybody
lazy,
who likes to make movies, it's their best payday of their life.
I would not say this movie seemed lazy at all. It seems like they put a lot of fucking effort into this
If you
movie.
watch the behind the scenes, the making of this movie, there's a part where he says, I challenge you to find one frame where they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And he'll show like stills of all the carnage. There is not one scene that you can see where not everyone is looking terrified.
Really?
Everyone is in pain. Everyone's doing their job. There's nothing lazy about this movie.
Oh,
It was fantastic.
And like I was thinking about the first time I watched it. Every like person on the beach had some kind of wound on them
Oh,
that
they were
looked
all-
realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just like a big gash. Like, oh no, there's like bite marks taken out of everybody. Like one guy had like skin hanging off his face.
Yeah, and everyone was different. The people got cut in half. That girl's hair got ripped off. It took her face off.
That
and stuff.
really happened.
I think it ripped your hair out first before it ripped your head off.
What it
No,
scalp
it'd probably
it?
take most of the scalp.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw
God.
Rescue 911 where that happened to a girl.
Oh, with Shatner?
Was he the one that did Rescue
I
911?
think so. Yeah.
Was it?
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, my part of that, like, what was it? Would have been glad if or like liked it more if they would have done it shittily?
Yeah.
Like, if they, like would have just thrown a bucket of blood on somebody and been like, all right, now walk around the beach. He'd be like, oh, that's
The guy in a
That's so
piranha
much
suit,
easier.
like, oh.
So here's where I become the hypocritical critique, because the sequel was so fucking terrible. This movie was fantastic. Those goddamn Gulagers that messed up Feast 2 and 3, even though they did Feast 1 right. Yeah.
Dude.
They Piranha 3D was so fucking terrible. It was like they would throw rubber fish. It was that bad.
That's
Really?
It was
Well,
terrible.
that was part of the fun is like,
Had that
okay,
one Muppet.
there was like the scene where that girl, they're carrying, the two guys are carrying the girl and she splits in half. Like, I totally forgot about that and that made me go,
Yeah.
but there was like, but you have to have a sick humor about it. Like, there's all this crazy shit going on, but you don't have any emotional attachment to these people. Like, yeah, they probably got like boyfriends and,
it's
moms
all
and stuff, but
fake.
yeah, it's
None
true.
of it is real.
But that's hilarious. Like, that just that girl got her boobs eaten, but the fish didn't eat the implants. Like, that's funny. Like,
I agree.
So do you think it was like a budget thing? Why it didn't?
I
why it was
think
so shitty.
I think it was, this movie was really popular and they wanted to make a sequel, but they didn't actually want to take the time to make a good one.
and
just
that's
wanted
too
to
They
bad.
wanted to
because
cash in.
that was part of the hilarity. Like I said, it was so realistic. That's
Yeah.
part of the fun.
And what it was about was that this guy creates a water park, but it's not doing very well, so he wants to make a section of it where it's like an erotic water park. So there's like an excuse to get naked chicks there. And so he has like part of it sectioned off where girls can get topless and stuff like that. And the piranhas somehow find their way through the plumbing into the amusement park.
So the big piranhas don't even show up in the second movie?
No, they were just the little ones.
Kidding me?
And it was so shitty. Like it was just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
No
I
Elizabeth
mean,
Shue.
yeah.
No
Like,
Elizabeth Shue.
No, Elizabeth Shue. Like I said, Bing Rames came back with he had like some crutches that were, yeah.
That's what I
Yeah,
forgot to
sorry.
mention. The Colby count. I was disappointed I didn't get to see Elizabeth Shue's boobs.
No.
I respect
all the
that.
other
I'm
ones,
happy with
they
seeing the
have
40
four.
boobs, but I would have just like this. Just
Like
one.
I said, I like that they just took the opportunity not to sexualize her. Like
Yeah.
that. I mean, what a
I
remarkable
didn't
thing
care
for this
for it.
kind of movie to do. I know,
She was-
Colby, I know.
She was the Ellen Ripley type. The
Right?
strong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She tasered that,
Although-
that
I was
fish.
just that one fish.
Kind of wish we had saw Ripley's boobs. So.
You kind of do in part 4.
That's true.
Yeah, you can see through that sack she
Are
wears.
they very big? Are they even worth seeing? Oh, that's right.
Are they worth seeing?
They're
Sarah.
boobs.
I don't have the same. I don't know. I can see
She's
them
small
in a row.
breasted, but they're nice.
Good for
She
her.
did another movie where she showed her boobs, but they were really scarred up. It was about she'd been tortured. It was not
Happy
Don't
boobs.
bum us up.
They're sad boobs. All right, so
Weepy
then he
banana.
goes on to kind of like do his own little synopsis. He's talking about, so he says, he's talking about Jake being an outcast, harbors a crush on local girl Kelly, a boring love interest who teases Jake adamantly and gets her jollies off on making him swoon.
I'm gonna
Which I
agree with
actually
that.
agree with, yeah. She is boring as
Did
shit.
she have
yeah.
jollies? Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
there's nothing like
Yeah.
She couldn't hold her liquor. I don't know.
And then he says, Christopher Lloyd has a boring cameo as an eccentric scientist. And
He
then,
should have like cartwheeled in and like jumped while he was like.
I know. Was the eccentric part that he had like a crazy voice? Because he didn't really do anything
Yeah,
that's
he
crazy.
Hops on the tank with a chainsaw. Like,
So this is what a stretch. Ving Rhames is a tough-talking brute. Way to stay in your comfort zone.
Oh, you
Which
want to talk shit about Ving Rhames?
Actually, one of my notes is Ving Rhames to the fuck out of those fish.
That exact thought went through my head. I was like, he's Ving Rhamesing the shit out of those goddamn. And that's exactly what I was gonna say here because they're being Christopher Lloyd and it's Christopher Lloydiest and Ving Rhames that is Ving Rhamesiest.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames.
Fucking. They blow fish up where they shoot fish jumping in the air with fucking shotguns.
And like, I don't want to see Ving Rhames being a serious dramatic character, especially not in Piranha fucking 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He knows his shtick and he sticks with it. And that is
He should have been
funny.
juggling too with Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, I mean, they got them to do those things because they know how much fun they are at doing those things.
You just said an interesting word that movie filmmakers seem to forget a lot. Fun.
Right?
It's
No one wants
fucking
to make
fun.
any
Yeah.
fun movies anymore.
Jesus Christ, can we have fun?
Every movie's got to be depressing these days.
And then he goes on, like...
In that stream world.
Yeah.
First thing that would
Cry at
happen
the
in
end of every
Aladdin.
movie.
First thing that happened in Aladdin is Jasmine gets shot in the head by a drug dealer.
That wouldn't actually be that far off for a Disney movie. People die pretty horribly.
What was her tiger's name? Raja? Raja's like actually a guy. He's like a detective that's quadriplegic. In a wheelchair. He's like, we gotta catch him, Aladdin.
I do not want to watch your Aladdin.
No,
Really?
this is Matt's dream Aladdin. I wouldn't make this fucking Aladdin. I'd be like, where's the pool?
Well, we do. I mean, Disney's rebooting all these gritty stories. I don't see why not Aladdin.
What gritty stories?
Like
Nah,
Frozen?
don't ever fuck with Aladdin. Aladdin's my favorite. So I'll just wrap it up by then he goes on. It says like 4 more times about like how this is the easiest paycheck and he was just going for the paycheck.
Yeah,
He's like
easy.
upset that Alexandre Aja made money for making this film. He's pretty pissed that that guy's making money, I guess.
Has a director ever worked hard? Like, they just sit in that chair and yell shit.
No.
They're like lifting
Wrong.
weights, like, come on! Running obstacle courses. Steven Spielberg.
Directing is hard.
Anyways.
None of us share the opinion of Colby.
Colby didn't go
Colby's
for
views are
school.
his own.
Like, that's
Night.
hard.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's
Fuck that guy.
yeah. Fuck you, Felix Vasquez Jr.
No, I'm sure you're.
and fuck Senior too.
No, I'm sure you're. Oh my god.
Senior is like in his wheelchair, like, I love this movie, son.
He's listening to my favorite podcast.
Yeah.
No.
Let's not just shoot randomly in the air.
Fuck the third too.
Oh. He's just a baby.
Your whole family's fucked. Normally now is the time that we get meta about murder with Matt's themes and tropes. Did you have a theme and trope?
I mean, I think Derek and Kathleen already talked about, how they get their comeuppance because they littered. And there was
It
the
was
whole.
me still.
Oh,
It was Colby said everything smart.
Well, I
No,
know.
I brought up the goddamn littering thing in the beginning, and everybody said it was
but
Derek.
Derek
but it was
said
me.
the bottle.
Yeah.
No, that was me.
No,
But aren't you really both the same guy? I mean,
don't you guys like
This
shit?
isn't a vidcast. Pollution is bad.
okay, I noticed one just offhand was that there was one lone shitty boat out there where some guy was like, read the Bible. And I was thinking like all of these sexy people doing sexy things. Maybe they're getting
Going to
their,
hell
their
is what they're
religious
gonna do.
comeuppance,
Yeah.
So this was their Gomorrah, pretty much.
It would have been funny to show those guys fall out and get eaten by piranhas, though.
I assume they did. I don't think anybody really made it
Jesus,
out.
But
Of
a
it.
lot of people were just dancing on a boat.
That's
They didn't
true.
do anything
Those
wrong.
Yeah, have you seen the way they
Have you ever
were
seen
dancing?
Footloose? Dancing is immoral
Yeah.
as
Did you
shit.
see what they were wearing? There was
People
nobody.
die.
Nobody was dressed appropriately.
One guy's there like his Capri Sun, like, let's just hang out, guys. Bam, eaten by a piranha.
That's what happens when you surround yourself with bad things.
Like people
Like
dancing
Capri
on
Sun.
boats.
I'm bringing my Bible next time. I'm preaching you guys.
Okay, now the fun starts with everyone's favorite pieces and parts.
Oh, I got a list.
Kathleen, you go first.
My favorite part was actually the new edition of the fear boner. I think it's going to serve us well in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did this come about? Because I didn't hear the whole conversation.
Yeah, which one of us had a fear boner?
Everyone had a fear boner.
Well, like
It was Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah, I just noticed as she was crawling upside down on the rope, like her jeans were scrunched in a way that there's like this huge protrusion.
That's what she gets.
And that was, I just assumed it was a fear boner. It crosses gender lines, race lines.
I don't think I ever had a fear boner.
Haven't lived.
I'm so scared right now.
Do any of you guys get pee shy?
Yeah.
Be shy. I don't know.
Where like you don't want to pee in public or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was at this truck stop on my way home from work. I had to stop and take a piss, right? And I'm standing there taking a leak, and I hear behind me, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, and I'm just sitting there peeing, doing my thing, or standing there peeing. I gotta be specific.
You sit like a girl.
He pees like butters. He throws his pants all the way down.
Have you ever seen a grown adult do that? Like drop their pants like to their knees, like to take a piss at the urinal?
Fortunately, no.
That shit is fucking. I've seen it maybe twice in my life. And it's, what the fuck?
You should try to like drop them like a nickel on their butt crack. Teach them a lesson.
Anyway, so who was heavy breathing part?
Okay, so I'm standing at the urinal, and there's another urinal, but for some reason there's this big fat fucking trucker standing behind me, and he's like this, just like breathing with his I don't know, bad breathing, and I swear to God, my urine stream was like, just like dried up, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I am very uncomfortable, and then I laughed.
Was that the closest thing to a fear boner?
That's what I was thinking.
I was about to say, was it
That's
because
what I
like they say it's physically impossible like to pee while you have a boner? Well, not
that's
physically.
not-
Not physically. I exaggerated that way too much. Not physically impossible, but like it's.
Highly
Rare.
unlikely.
I do it every morning.
Just gotta.
God, no.
Yeah.
Much insight. Too much insight.
You didn't think this was
But
going to be a
then,
learning
who,
experience.
I know. Who does the
Some
fear
curtains you don't
boner?
want to look
doesn't
Next
the fear
on
boner
Getting
battle
Personal with
somebody?
Colby.
The fear
The
boner
hero
battles
boner?
the hero boner.
Yeah.
Depending on the strength of whichever one.
That was your favorite part, was when Matt said fear boner?
You can say it again right now. It'll still be my favorite part of this podcast.
You don't
Fear
get any
boner.
more fear boners. My favorite part was the two ladies naked dancing underwater with each other.
In which there were 5 vagina shots.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Colby, what was yours?
I like the part when they threw the drink at him while he was sitting there, because that actually happened to me once, except it wasn't a drink, it was a pencil and a CD. And I was on my scooter in the bike lane. At a fucking at a red light, and like I see a pencil go flying past me, and then like a CD, and like I was like, clearly those were aimed at me. And I was wearing a helmet, so I took it off, and I turned around because I thought it was somebody I knew trying to get my attention, and so I turned around and I was like, "Do I know you?" And the guy was like, hey, how's it going?" And I was like, "Okay," and he was like, how are you?" And I was like, "Fine." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Huh." I was like, if you're gonna throw shit at me, at least like
Always
own
roll my
up
window
to it.
really
Like, yeah. Well, I think he was expecting me to be like a little nerdy guy, and like I'm not gonna defend myself. But I was like, "Oh, I'll kick your
You
ass."
start flicks.
And sure enough, as soon as they drive off, and they flips me off, I was like, "You pussy! Like, why didn't you flip me off like 5 minutes ago? We're just sitting here."
He didn't recognize that mustache.
And then I also like I didn't have a mustache back then.
Whoa. I thought
It
you were
wouldn't
born
have happened
with
if
a
you did
yeah.
have one.
No,
You weren't just born with it? What did you look like without a mustache?
I like this, but
It
like
ain't
without
right.
any hair.
It ain't
I
right.
like this.
Whoa.
I don't like it
Who
at
is
all.
this man?
And then I also liked how all the bodies kind of looked like ground beef when they pulled them out, like bones with ground beef hanging off of them.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one here? I got it written down. Let me find it. Oh shit! Oh yeah, when that piranha ate through that chicken came out her mouth.
Yeah,
that was
amazing.
awesome.
And it says "Holy shit." He's like, "It's holy shit." I really enjoyed that. How many like "oh shits" and "holy shits"? Because that would totally be me. Oh shit! You guys just see that shit?
I liked the part in the cave when the two, they weren't explorers, but scientists go down and Sam the diver is exploring, lights the flare, and sees just thousands of the piranhas about to attack him. That was pretty awesome scene.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Scott shooting the piranhas with the shotgun.
On a jet ski.
Yeah, on a jet ski. That's pretty dreamy. I'm not gonna lie. And then my favorite death in horror movies when people get sliced in half and they look around and they don't realize it and then just fall off, like a Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say that's my favorite dice
Like his
scene.
sclera starts dripping out and he just falls in all his parts.
What was the other one? What, Death Ship? Ghost Ship.
Ghost Ship.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen The Cube?
Oh yeah.
Where he goes into the room and like the wires just stretch all across and cuts him into a bunch of little cubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ham
Beautiful.
Yeah.
at a salad bar.
Yep.
That movie was weird.
This was a good one on Piranha too because it cut her in half and it like her bikini fell away and then her body fell away. It was cool.
The first time I think I've ever had to put a tally mark in each category at the same time. It's like boob, dip, boob body, boob body.
Pretty cool.
So my favorite part, I guess, is just, I mean, it's obviously the best part of the movie was the massacre part, but my favorite parts of it were just how many times, like, because, like, there was, like, all the flesh had been just, like, sheared away from bones, so they had, like, an arm, like, all of an arm, but then, like, the rest of it was, like, their hand was bone, or, like, half the leg was just, like, the bone.
Jerry O'Connell's little legs.
Because that's a complex effect
Yeah.
to get rid of a limb, you know.
Yeah, just, like, just the flesh.
I wonder if they got people that were missing limbs and then put those like.
I don't know.
Well, didn't you say they did, like, a shout-out to the, like, paraplegic surfers or something
Yeah,
like that?
but
'Cause
I don't think it was because they were like in there as stand-ins or anything.
Yeah,
It was
so
just
hey.
like a.
Oh, I
12
thought
the
that
survivors
was...
of this piranha
Yeah.
There's
attack.
no surfing in that movie.
There's that one guy surfing behind the boat.
But you surf on an ocean, not in a lake.
Yeah.
I beg
I
to
was
differ.
upset.
That
I
guy
remember
was
Matt being
surfing.
upset about that scene. What?
Yeah, I didn't
We
realize.
got river dolphins,
Yeah.
lake surfing. This is all fucked up.
Ooh.
Well,
Sorry.
in a world where Jason Voorhees can take a boat from Crystal Lake to New York,
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Crystal Lake is like 3 miles from New York City.
That would be like the most amazing movie, like a Jason Voorhees road movie, where he just gets a couple of his friends together for a road trip to New York.
Just him writing in his
Yeah.
diary on a ship. Death, machete, murder, boob.
Mother.
my favorite scene was not just because Gianna's boobs, but the parasailing, because I love how it dipped her under, and then it pulled her back up and she had no legs. It was
Yeah.
like fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It was cool.
The scene with Kelly's douchebag boyfriend riding the boat and knocking everybody over.
Oh,
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Did
It was
you know there'd
hot.
be somebody
That
like
He
was-
must have killed a dozen people.
Oh,
That
yeah.
made for a difficult body count. You should only count the
that?
thuds.
Blood.
Yeah.
did he get his comeuppance? Like I know they like took
Yeah,
over
he
his boat
died.
He
and
fell
he
in.
fell in, but
I
he
wish they
didn't-
would have shown him.
Yeah, like
it.
it
Yeah.
wasn't gruesome enough. He should have
It
got
wasn't.
It
way
was in the
worse.
sequel, like, boy, am I glad I drove that boat out of there.
In closing, to feed the sun god with junk food movie dialogue, we offer unto you the Quetzalcoatl. Who's got a good quote?
I got goddess aquatic bitches.
Damn, that's mine too.
I have that down.
Yeah, it's just the best line
But I
of the
think
movie.
the best quote from the movie was, Abe, you take it from here.
He took my penis.
They took my pieces. Or what tissue?
Yeah, that was my favorite one.
His dying words, wet t-shirt.
Oh, man. They brought us from Jerry O'Connell's.
Yeah, he was good in that movie.
Yeah, I fucking loved it.
Or I like the last scene where what was the doctor's name? What was Christopher Lloyd's? I don't know. It was like the equivalent of the "It's about your kids, Marty." It's like they're burgers. We're like no sequel.
I also liked when Paul Scheer said, "We're making porn here, not drama."
That is one thing that was a little bit of a internet kerfuffle. You never see what happened to his character. He falls off the boat. There's never any like.
I never thought of that.
Yeah,
he
no,
just
you don't
disappeared.
see him getting eaten.
I guess
you assume you do, but apparently, this is I heard it through another something. Yeah, they were tweeting him and trying to figure out like what happened to him. Fans were. I don't know what happened though. I assume he just got eaten.
Yeah,
I like him. Maybe he
totally
swam to
forgot.
shore and just survived.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he just kind of disappeared from the movie.
Which he wasn't really necessary.
He's kind of wasted. I think that's funny.
Yeah, he's funny.
He was still on the boat when it blew it up. He was hiding.
He's like, guys.
You did. Oh, I was sad when the nice whore
Yeah, the
died.
nice
Kelly
hot
Brook?
girl.
Yeah. Was that Kelly Brook?
Uh-huh.
Why do I know that name?
Do we see her vagina too? I think I saw her vagina.
She was underwater.
I was so
Yeah,
focused
she was
married
on
to
the
Billy
vaginas,
Zane,
I didn't
or
see the
Timothy
face
He
attached.
was engaged to him for a while.
Oh,
And then
she's gorgeous.
Dated Jason Statham.
Ooh. But she was very nice. She wanted to like hook up Jake and Kelly and.
Jason Statham seems like he'd be like a delicate lover. You know?
Oh my god!
Like a strong man, but a
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
soft
very
Like,
graceful. He's
like
like
he
an Olympic
goes
diver.
and chops some wood and then comes home and makes soft, sweet, gentle love
Just
to
when I
you.
think I have Colby
like
figured
he
out.
seems like the type that like he would make her coffee and like warm her cup before putting the coffee in it so it didn't get cold before she woke up.
See, doesn't the coffee warm it up?
Yeah. Do people warm their cups?
Yeah,
before
you
they
put like boiling water in there so the cup, like the cold ceramic, doesn't cool your coffee
Can anybody
down.
drink coffee at the temperature that it comes out of the pot, though?
Old
Like,
people, man.
Really?
Old people do. They're like,
And Jason
Jesus.
can you
Statham's wife.
heat up my coffee? And they hand it to you, and you're like, okay. You're right.
So, yeah, it'll give me 3rd-degree burns on my skin, but I can
Yeah.
just toss it down.
Old people
Why-
can't.
why
Old
are you
people can't
thinking-
feel shit anymore.
Colby, why are you thinking of it? How would you judge other people as lovers?
What do you
It's
base
nothing-
that
What do you think Adam
There's nothing-
Scott?
No, see, it's
Oh
nothing.
God, Adams.
You can't.
He would
can't
be
just
so
look at
gentle and he would just hold you all night.
You can't just look at him and know it. I'm just saying that Jason Statham kind of emanates that, you know? He kind of... Him and
What are
Tom
you basing
Hardy.
this on?
Was it the Crank movie?
Yeah.
That's really what does it.
It was
The Crank
Lock, Stock,
movie.
and Two Smoking Barrels. He was in that one, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
Expendables. Those
No, he was too gruff in that.
See, I feel like that personifies that because he tries to be like super
Oh,
tough
that's
guy,
true, yeah.
but then when he
And then he
finds out
saves-
it's a lady,
Yeah.
he goes and kills all the bad guys
Gets
that
her
were
some
trying
coffee.
to kidnap the lady. And then
Have
he
you-
makes soft,
have you ever-
gentle love to her and makes her a cup of coffee in the morning and makes
Have
her
you ever warmed
breakfast.
somebody's coffee cup like that up?
Probably.
What do you mean,
Probably
probably?
you don't remember. I would remember if I did.
I just do
I don't
so
think
much
you have.
romantic shit all the time that it's hard for me to keep track of it.
That's nice. of
You
you.
take
The fact
me
that
that
you called
bouquet
it
when I
romantic
I was about to say, alright, honey, I did some more
I
romantic
shit
shit for
bitches
you.
all the time.
I charmed the shit out of bitches.
Colby Swanson over here.
The bitch charmer.
That's your new
Just
bio.
bitches popping out of baskets.
So there's your Colby corner. Little insight.
Into Colby's world.
Light a Kindle, y'all.
Bitches love candles.
I just feel like your whole game is based on the I Make Love to You video at the Boys to Men one.
Wear a white newsboy hat.
Get the hot tub.
With a white vest.
No shirt on underneath it.
Oh, I don't think there's been a coherent sentence
This
in the
is a
last
shit
5 minutes.
show.
You can edit this though.
Boy, this has been a hard one tonight. Shit.
She said.
Romantic
Romantic motherfucker. Get up on
Does
this hard
anyone
shit.
have any last words? Anything they want to say, talk about?
Take care of your bitches.
Make sure you do lots of romantic shit for all your bitches.
Be a gentle lover.
Like Jason's, take a tip from Jason Statham. Warm that bitch's coffee cup up.
What is going on? I think we need to cut this now.
That is the end of Meet Your Monsters for this week. Thanks to my friends for hanging out with me, and thanks to you at home for
Fucking
listening.
energy.
If you want to follow along, next week's movie will be our first field trip. We're going to see Tusk.
Get your
The
permissions,
Kevin
those
Smith
bitches.
movie. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.